So welcome to the UEL Centre of FinTech podcast. My name is Iwa Salami and I'm a professor of financial law and regulation at the Royal Dock School of Business and Law, University of East London. I'm also the director of the Centre of FinTech there. And today I'm delighted to be hosting this podcast, which features some of our brightest minds, PhD students doing their research at the Centre of FinTech. And they'd be sharing with us their research journeys and their work around fintech and how that contributes to the fintech ecosystem. I'm also delighted to be joined by Dr. Fahima Jafari, a member of the leadership team at the Centre of FinTech, who would also be contributing significantly to this conversation. But before I transfer the conversation or start my questions, I'd like to say a bit about the Centre of FinTech. Now, the Centre of FinTech is a joint school project between the Royal Dock School of Business and Law and the School of Architecture, Computing and Engineering, based here at the University of East London. And the ethos, I'd say, or the vision of the centre is really to facilitate the creation and the communication of practice-led knowledge that enables fintech, that is financial technology, to be robust, inclusive, and sustainable. And we do that through some of our key objectives, which includes facilitating fintech education, and we do that by supporting largely all the fintech programs across the university. We do that through fintech research, which includes research that happens within the two schools that I mentioned earlier, the Royal Dock School of Business and Law and the School of Architecture, Computing and Engineering. We do that through engaging with industry because we're very conscious that our students need to learn fintech beyond the classroom environment, and we need industry engagement to help make that happen. And we also do that through contributing to the international and national policy and regulatory framework around various dimensions of fintech. So without further ado, I would now like our guests, I'd say, to actually introduce themselves. I'll start first, of course, with PhD researchers here at the Centre of FinTech, Ademola.
Thank you very much, Professor Salami. My name is Ademola Soile-Balogun. I'm a doctoral candidate and a researcher at the Centre of FinTech. That's at the Royal Dock School of Business and Law of the University of East London. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Salami. Hello, everyone. I'm Chanchal Jain, a PhD researcher at Centre of FinTech, based in the School of Architecture, Computing and Engineering in University of East London.
Brilliant.
Thanks for joining us. My name is Dr. Fahima Jafari. I'm a senior lecturer in AI and Big Data in Computing Department, and I'm also a PGR lead in Computing Department and Associate Director of the Centre of FinTech.
Thank you all very much for keeping it very brief. Now, without further ado, we'll take an icebreaker question, and that will go first, I'd say, to Chanchal. And Chanchal, would you please tell us what inspired you to study or to research or pursue, I'd say, your PhD in fintech?
So my interest in fintech research began when I was doing my MSc in Artificial Intelligence here at University of East London. I was working closely with Dr. Fahima Jafari on a road safety project. And there it exposed me with the experience of how we can use AI for solving a real complex world problem. And then it sparked an interest of mine in how we can use technology for social responsible good. Okay. Later, while in Dubai, then I got an exposure to the financial systems and regulatory processes through a company which was working in setting up new businesses in UAE. And when I had an opportunity to join the Centre of FinTech as a funded research student, it naturally felt me as a natural progression. Here, my PhD work focuses on to how we can use technology to support sustainability data for good and ethically, what we can say, responsibly and transparent way.
Brilliant. Thank you for that, Chanchal. Ademola?
All right, thank you once again. Thank you very much, Dr. Fahimi, as well. So what attracted me to the Centre of FinTech, or what made me start this program at the Centre of FinTech? Yes, so I'll start by saying that I started my career as a lawyer with specialty in financial services and a bit of real estate. And having put in some years in practice, in legal practice that is, and of course advisory services, I saw the way the world was going, right? So the world was going digital, financial services was also going digital, and we saw when I say we, I'm using we in a generic context. We saw that we're gradually drifting towards virtual finance, and I felt, look, I don't want to be left behind. So I started checking, or I started looking to progress into a PhD in financial services. And then I stumbled on the Centre of FinTech of the University of East London. I remember that was the center I stumbled on first, even online. And of course, my now DOS, Professor Salami, and I started doing a bit of digging. And I found that, look, this is the place to be. So here I am.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. It shows we're doing our jobs well at the Centre of FinTech.
Yeah.
Okay, now the second question, I know you've spoken just a bit about your research, right? And I just wondered if you could tell us just a bit more about your research and how it is contributing in a positive way.
Okay, so thank you very much. Yes, so for my research, like I said earlier, my area of practice was actually financial services and real estate. And then I realized that, look, how do I harmonize these two broad areas, the financial services and affordable housing? And then I looked at the UN SDG goals, particularly Goal 11, which speaks to sustainable communities. And of course, with sustainable communities come sustainable dwelling for citizens of the world, particularly because I'm from a part of a region of the world that is referred to as the Global South. And I began to consider how my research could actually deal with this social problem, this nagging social problem, which is affordable housing. And then looking at what the institutions of the world have realized that, look, we need to address this problem, as a matter of urgency. And that's why the UN SDG goal 2030 is just about 5 years away. And my research actually speaks to that and looks to how innovative financing can help to resolve, or rather address some of these challenges. So I'll stop at that for now.
Brilliant. Chanchal.
My PhD research focuses on the credibility of ESG data, which is used by investors, regulators, and stakeholders to assess the corporate sustainability profiles. So my goal here is to build a ESG credibility framework that can support the investors and regulators for making better and transparent decision makings. So here again, we are trying to use AI for responsible and social good.
Brilliant. Thank you, Chanchal. Now, turning to Dr. Jafari, these are very interesting research areas. Now, Dr. Jafari, could you tell us, please, the approach of or the approach to PGR supervision, postgraduate research or PhD supervision here at the Centre of FinTech?
Yeah, sure. At the Centre of FinTech, our approach to PGR supervision is highly interdisciplinary and collaborative. As you know, the Centre is the collaboration between the School of Architecture, Computing and Engineering and the School of Business and Law, which allows us to combine expertise in finance, regulation, and technology to support our PhD students. Most of our PhD students in the Centre benefits from joint supervision across both schools. So as you can see, this model can ensure that we can, our researcher, our PhD students are well supported in a multidisciplinary environment.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Quite a few of our PhD researchers are on some form of scholarship funded by the school. So we're quite grateful for the contributions from the two schools. Thank you so much for that, Fahima. Now, the next question is around research contribution and impact. And the question I'd like to direct to Chanchal. And it's, how do you see your research contributing to the center's mission of advancing responsible fintech innovation?
The Centre of FinTech is working on the innovations that are robust, sustainable, and inclusive. And my work here directly contributes to that mission. As I have mentioned, we are working on a ESG credibility platform. And thanks to the support and collaboration of my supervision team, Dr. Nitish Turaman, Dr. Fahime Jaffrey, and Dr. Michael Harrison, we are also able to contribute to an external funded pilot project from UK FinPlus. And this particular collaboration is able to give us a platform where we are actually able to bridge the gap between the academic research and the practice. And this is also giving us a platform where we can apply our research framework into a real world practice.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And to you, Ademola, I would like to ask, how your work, right, at the Centre of FinTech has enabled you to engage or to collaborate with industry. So basically, the opportunities that you've had within the Centre of FinTech, how have those opportunities enabled you to engage with industry, collaborate with industry, and also actually the broader FinTech ecosystem?
So thank you once again. Yes, for the center, actually, what one of the things that actually attracted me to the Centre of FinTech of University of East London is the fact that it's the theme or the goal, which is to drive knowledge-led research into robust, innovative, and inclusive appreciation of financial technology. And since I joined the center about three odd years ago, I've been exposed to quite a number of industry participants. And when I talk about industry participants, I mean staff from the FCA. They come around regularly for interactive seminars with the center, which the center has going. And then a few months ago, I was part of a team. As a matter of fact, I led a team to win the first Centre of FinTech and in collaboration with the industry, the first hackathon event. We're two groups, two teams who won, and I led one of the teams that won the event. And subsequently, we're invited by the Eva Labs group to their national office headquarters at Bath in Wales, and we had quite a collaborative engagement that day. And of course, we met some teams from all parts of the world, from Argentina, from Italy, and so on. And so it's been a pleasant experience, really, because the center has actually exposed me particularly to what lies out there, and that's what practice-led research is about. Because you are exposed to what goes on in the outside world, and of course, you're able to contribute what you're doing, which is what I'm doing right now, to what the center stands for. And on that, I will continue to do. Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. And of course, from that experience you had at the Innovation House, to actually talk more about what your solution was at the hackathon, you were also invited to participate in X Spaces.
X Space, yeah, exactly.
By the Avalanche.
So that was another a podcast too as well.
Yeah.
Where I had to talk about what I was doing and what we did at the hackathon that got us the winning prize, which is centered around ESG, financial services, introducing financial services led intervention in ESG. In promotion of ESG practices. All right, so.
And that obviously gave you some global exposure. And shout out to Doro Ongali for the invitation to participate in that. Now, Doro Ongali is the university liaison officer, I'd say, at Avalanche. So we're thankful for all those opportunities.
Thank you, Doro. Thank you.
Brilliant. The next question basically reflects on your advice from your experience as PGR students It's basically reflecting on how you would advise prospective PhD students to consider or in considering fintech research as a pathway to their research. So Chanchal, let's start with you.
So I would start with a real world problem that genuinely excites you. Fintech is such a broad space. I'm not only talking about the blockchain or algorithms. I'm also talking about sustainability, inclusion, and trust. Secondly, I would say surround yourself with the mentors that support and challenge you, as I have been lucky here to have that here at UEL. And finally, what I would say is be open to learning from other disciplines like law, policy, or data ethics, because the successful fintech innovation usually happen at the intersection of these fields, not within the silos. Thank you.
Brilliant. That is such an amazing question, amazing answer to the question.
Okay, so thank you very much, Chan, for that. Chan has actually illuminated what I would have also spoken about. But my advice to anybody or any student or any intending PGR in fintech is identify the times we are in. We are in an era of innovation, and the Centre of FinTech of the University of East London offers you one of the best platforms in the world to showcase what you intend to achieve. And I believe with collaboration and, of course, with the wonderful, I must say, wonderful team of academics, supervisors, and the support you would get from students, the alumni, and from the cohort at the center, you would find that the Centre of FinTech offers you the very best to actualize this dream. So please come on board. We're waiting.
Thank you very much. And I'd just like Fahime, from PhD supervisor perspective, how would you advise prospective students to to consider coming to the Centre of FinTech to pursue a PhD? What would you like to say to them?
So, of course, we had two great examples here, that they have explained how they could enjoy working in fintech. So the first thing is really important is they know if they are interested in this field or not. If they're really interested in the fintech, which is, of course, one of the cutting-edge topics, don't worry, because sometimes the students coming from computing background, they're worried about how they can learn something from the other field. I know some of the students coming from non-computing background and they are worried about how they can increase their technical skills and understand. As Chanchal mentioned, don't worry. If you're interested, just come along, and start. The thing is, we have enough support for the students, So we have a dedicated center for fintech, which is amazing. We have lots of network in industry. We can provide lots of collaboration, mentorship programs, We have amazing academic in both the schools can support you. You will be very well supported here, and you need to start and wants to do that. That's it.
Brilliant. Now that is really amazing, and thank you so much for that. And just to add that because fintech is a multidisciplinary aspect of law, speaking to the computer science dimensions of fintech, speaking to the finance and economics dimension of fintech, speaking to the law and regulatory dimensions of fintech, which are the key areas of fintech. We here at the Centre of FinTech benefit from drawing from the expertise from these three key areas. So to be honest, it's actually one of the best places you can actually think of pursuing a PhD in fintech. And because we're also very well connected with industry, and industry being incumbent financial institutions, being fintech startups, and even also regulators. So the UK Financial Conduct Authority, for example, is our neighbour in Stratford, and we have their support and involvement even in some of the courses that we provide as we facilitate fintech education. So the Centre of FinTech, I think, is one of the best places any student can think of exploring or researching fintech further.
Yeah, and you spot on, Iwa. actually collaboration is the central to our work. You know, the Centre of FinTech brings together academic, professionals, regulators through a very active ecosystem, which includes like research partnership. We have innovation project. Lots of different events like workshops, hackathons. We did lots of things, mentoring programs, short courses, lots of things that of course can provide this opportunity to support our students, and also we have advisory board members from industry, which of course advisory board play an important role in shaping our direction, ensuring that our research is connected to the real world challenge, and also ensuring that our work will stay aligned with the industry priorities. So this collaboration is like we are helping our students to provide this, linking our students to the industry and also academic, we have all this together in one place.
Brilliant. So what we'd like to say is if you're contemplating the idea of a master's in fintech, in any dimension of fintech, be it an MBA in fintech, be it a master's in law in fintech, or an MSc in fintech and blockchain, or any dimension of fintech, whether it's from an AI, blockchain, data science perspective, please visit our website, the University of East London website, to find out about how you can apply to us. And what we're going to do is we'd leave a link and put a QR code at the end of the screen to give you some guidance as to how to apply to us. So with that, I'd like to thank our guests today. Thank you to Dr. Fahime Jafari. Thank you to Chanchal Jain. And thank you to Ademola Soile-Balogun. Thank you so much.